The guilt of resting while the rest of the world is working. Hi, my name is Lisa. Welcome to Journey with the Cars. Subscribe, comment, and like these videos. There's a particular kind of guilt that no one warns you about before you leave work for good. It arrives on a Tuesday morning when the rest of the world is clocking in, opening laptops, filling conference rooms, and you are sitting in a garden watching the light move across the lawn. You are doing nothing wrong. You have earned this. And yet something deep and trained inside you whisper that silence is a form of death, that you are stealing time that belongs to something more important, more measurable, more worthy of your hours you are quietly spending. That whisper is not your conscience. It is the voice of a productivity culture that was never designed to let you go. We have spent decades inside a system that equates motions with meaning. Every calendar block filled was proof of relevance. Every complete task was a small argument for your own value. Retirement does not just remove the job, it removes the entire architect of self-worth that the job quietly held in place. So when you sit still, it does not feel like rest. It feels like betrayal. Betraying your team, your habits, your identity, and some unspoken contract you signed the first morning you ever showed up early to prove yourself. Naming that feels honestly, not dismissing, not drowning in it and activities. It is the first and most important act of the post-career life. What the productivity culture never tells you is that your identity was always larger than your output. The curiosity that made you good at work did not live inside the work. It lived inside of you. The patience, the judgment, the particular way you read a room or solved a problem, none of that retires. It simply stopped being performed on demand for someone else's quarterly goals. The post-career self is not diminishing version of the professional self. It is an older, quieter, and considerable more honest one, no longer auditioning for approval, no longer measuring its worth in deliveries. That is not loss, that is arrival. We tend to celebrate business as a kind of bravery. The person who never stops, who answers emails at night, who treats the rest as weakness, that person is quietly admired in culture, even as they quietly fall apart. True stillness requires something altogether harder. It requires you to sit with yourself when there is no task to hide behind, no deadlines to define your urgency, no role to perform for an audience. It requires you to discover whether you are actually like the person you are when you're doing something that stops. That is not allenness. That is the most demanding interior work most of us will never attempt. And the garden, the mornings, and the unhurried cup of tea are not distractions from it. They are the condition that finally make it possible. Something is shifting quietly underneath the noise. There is a growing number of people who are no longer willing to accept the permission that a life well lived is measured in productivity metrics. They are tending to gardens, reading slowly, walking without a destination, sitting with the grandkids in no particular hurry. They are not opting out for life. They are opting in into a version of it that the hustle economy spent 50 years trying to conceive them that conceive did not count. It counts. The courage to rest while the world rushes is not a retreatment from meaning. It is the quiet, radical instance That meaning was never waiting at the finish line of your to-do list. It was here all along. In the unhurried hours, you were always too busy to notice. Be great. Journey with the cars.